everybody, jeez. Welcome to Dynaeleos, I'm gonna guess the name is. It's my best guess. I practiced it a couple of times before I had to actually say it out loud. So yeah, okay. Oh, it's another NaNoRandom 2019 game. Excite. Okay. It is another time. Deep underground, totalitarian rule governs the last of humanity. Humans and monsters fight for right to life in an undead world. That's a little weird. A caged civilian, Antiquity. Is her name? Their name? Antiquity? Is that what I'm hearing? Maybe? Somewhere in the underground wasteland, a pale monster pries the hull of a 10-meter-long freighter. White tentacles constrict and prod. One tentacle rises into the air and coils into a spring. Crunch. The thrust limb punches a hole in the freighter's hull. Wait. Yes. Okay. The two men inside, the freighter operators, shriek. "It's gonna kill us. We're screwed," the younger operator, Caleb, says. He cowers behind boxes of cargo. The other man, Fade, takes a deep breath. "No, if I can just send out a distress signal." The dashboard is destroyed, but the backup communicator in the vehicle's upper compartment should still be intact. Fade presses himself against the floor of the vehicle and inches forward. Tentacles above him snap in search of prey. It's just a few meters. Oh, shit. Ooh, this is so good. Ooh. The side door buckles from the crack. New tentacles invade. One tentacle finds Fade's ankle and lifts the swearing man into the air. Oh God, Caleb says. The monster throws Fade away and lunges for the coward hiding in the back with all of its tentacles. Caleb screams and throws boxes of cargo towards the tentacles in desperation. Bam! Fade smashes against the dashboard and winces. The upper compartment unlocks and the backup communicator pops out. The light on the communicator is on. It works. Fade grabs the communicator and taps the biochip in his left temple with a bloody finger. Ooh. We've been ambushed by a monster at this location. If there's anyone out there, please help us. The hull integrity reaches its limit. Smash! A powerful swipe tears the freighter's roof away, exposing the true roof beyond, the Earth's crest, sealing to the subterranean hollow. The freighter's interior lights reveal the monster's form, tens of long, thick tentacles attached to a mass of white flesh. A red vortex at the peak of the mass opens to a mouth lined with fangs. Caleb shivers and makes himself look as small as possible. Reckon it'll go for the food instead of us? No, they only go after humans, Fade says under his breath. Only humans, no other mammals? Oh boy. Thump. 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 Stomps in the distance. The monster freezes. What now? Caleb says. Oh, it's so good. The monster distances itself from the freighter and changes its stance. Its tentacles coil into strange shapes. I'm wearing my bite adjusters, so ITS sounds are kind of hard to do right now. There's a lot of them here. Caleb moves to a side window. Through the cracks he sees... Ah, it's the guards. They came back for us. No, Fade says. It's a hunter. Ooh. Irene rushes towards the monster at incredible speed. Speed possible due to physical enhancers installed in her suit. The monster's form whites out her field of view. Oof. Bam! Irene's right elbow smashes into the monster's main body. The two hit to the ground. Dirt explodes. The monster screeches and rises its tentacles in wild directions, but Irene jumped out of the monster's range immediately after the impact. She spits and stands up and parts... She spits sand and parts her hair with a hand, then draws her primary sword from her hip. The monster erects itself and turns to face Irene, but she is already strafing behind it. She presses her sword's trigger There's a trigger. And... ooh, nasty. Slash! A flick of her wrist, an arc of light, and the spray of monster blood later. Tentacles the monster uses legs separate from the monster's main body. The monster staggers. Irene reverses her grip and jumps for the monster's neck with an extended arm. Her lariat forces the beast to the ground once more. Boom. Dirt explodes for a second time, but this time one tentacle manages to catch Irene's sword wrist. The grounded monster lifts Irene into the air. No matter, Irene draws her second sword with her free hand and slashes the tentacle. She falls to the ground. By now the two male operators have left the damaged freighter. They observe the battle from a distance behind a piece of torn hull. She's young, Caleb says. Yeah, and by the looks of it, she runs solo too, Faith says. A tentacle slithers behind Irene, but sneak attacks are no match for Irene's instincts. She rolls to the side and uses the momentum to throw away her secondary sword. She focuses her grip on her remaining sword, takes a deep breath, and unleashes a flurry of light. The wasteland is dyed white with flesh and red with blood. When enough tentacles are dismembered, Irene lunges forward. She jams her sword deeper into the monster's torso and presses the sword's second trigger. The monster neutralized falls to the earth. Its remaining tentacles stop moving. Are y'all gonna eat it now? Is that what y'all do? You gonna eat it? I hope they eat it. Irene stares at the face of the neutralized monster for a moment, then points the flashlight on her belt to the crashed freighter. Everyone all right? She says. Fade leaves his cover. You saved us, Hunter. Thank you. Caleb scrambles over the monster. Amazing! You killed it? Hey, careful, Irene says, while wringing in her hands of monster blood. The pinned monster twitches and warps its mouth. Caleb jumps back. It's not dead? Of course not, Irene says. I'm taking this one back with me, alive. The communicator on Irene's belt crackles. Out comes the voice of Ern, Irene's mission operator. Irene, here is a capture specialist. Oh, Irene here is a capture specialist. I see. Ooh, so interesting. Oh my god, I'm so excited. It's so hard to read when you get too excited because your eyes just, they don't want to focus. Can't tell you how many times I've been reading a book and have to like close it and take a 5-minute break before I can continue because I'm too excited. What's that? Caleb says. A hunter that captures monsters instead of killing them. Fade says. Keep wanting to call him Freed. Why? I don't know. Keeps them alive for the research department to experiment on. She already took down today's target. Collectors are carrying it to the wasteland outpost as we speak, Ern says. Intercepting your distress call was just a coincidence, Irene shrugs. But enough about us, Ern says to the two men. State your role and business. We're freighter operators. Our metro received a request for organic cargo from the metro beyond. It seems they're short. I'll show you our manifest. Fade taps his biochip. Ern verifies the transmission. What happened to the guards accompanying the freighter? We were ambushed by a different monster a while back. Our guards held it off and told us to go on ahead, Caleb says. That is against protocol, Ern shakes his head from his seat at the wasteland outpost. Send me their last coordinates. Fade transmits the data over to Ern, who shares it with the others on the outpost. Good news, Ern says. They're alive. Another group of hunters came across them and helped them out. They are heading to the outpost. We will escort you to there after collectors arrive for this monster. The two men nod. Half an hour later, the collectors arrive. They place the monster into an empty stasis container. Irene then escorts the group to the wasteland outpost, where each person then take personal transports to return to their home metro. The organic material shortage at the freighter's destination metro remains unaddressed. The labor department remands several guards for breaching protocol. Irene nets a bonus for bringing in an extra monster in her daily hunt. The 10-hour work shift ends. Wow, it's a long work shift. Ah, sweet water. Around 100 disc-shaped plazas stacked on top of each other form the leisure district in the core of Irene's home metro. Escalators connect the plazas, while bridges connect individual plazas to the high rises encircling the stack. Below the stack is the under metro, the abandoned settlement upon which the current metro was built. The plazas, in particular the lower ones, are covered in grime from centuries of use. For the metro citizens, however, the place is their only option for recreation. Plaza contents? Why did my brain break right there? Why? That's an easy word. Why? Plaza contents vary. Some offer food, others virtual or physical entertainment. Oh my god, this is right up my alley. This visual novel is the best thing that ever happened to me. Okay, that's probably not true, but oh my god, I'm so excited. Irene, in casual fabric, leans over the handrail of a bridge to a food court. An hour ago, she received a message from Doll, who asked if they could meet up. It's been 2 years, huh? Irene thinks. Irene and Doll belong to the same nursery cohort. Okay, sorry, I was rereading belong to make sure it wasn't belonged. Members of such are raised together by custodians at metro nurseries until the members qualify for citizenship. Are they not normal babies? Normal, like, you know, the parents take care of the baby? Or are these, like, test tube babies? In other words, nursery cohort members are all childhood acquaintances of each other. Sorry. And a burp. This is anyone. Useless burp. Such is a significant bond in this world where conjugal families do not exist. Oh. Interesting. Why? Irene sighs. What's there to talk about? Irene's hunter instincts flare. Someone is sneaking up behind her. Irene prepares to dodge to the... Irene, it's been so long! Swish! Irene flips over the handrail on one hand and rotates her body in midair. She rests her feet against the edge of the bridge and dangle 300 meters above the under metro. Not so fast, Irene says. She parts her bangs with her free hand. Doll pouts on the other side of the rail. Come on, it's our reunion. Let me hug you, Doll says. Looks like your habit of touching people without their permission hasn't changed. Irene flips back onto the bridge over the rail. And it looks like you still do dangerous stunts, Doll says. Doll's pleading eyes gets to Irene. Irene sighs and relents to the hug. After the hug, Doll smiles. Heh, let's go. I like hugs. Hugs are nice. The two sit at a free table at the plaza food court. A man drone buzzes over to take their order. Soon after, freshly printed food on a tray arrives in the drone's graspers. Enjoy, the drone's operator says through the drone speaker. The drone buzzes off. Irene picks up a straw from the table's stock and sticks it in her fizzy drink, then says to Doll, Reunion, huh? You're meeting like this with everyone in our cohort? Wait, you're... You're meeting like this with everyone in our cohort? Oh, is this Doll? Oh, she's cute. She looks like a doll. Doll nods. I wanted to do a reunion party like the other cohorts, but... Yeah, that's not happening with ours, Irene thinks. Doll lifts a spoonful of her parfait. They say life as a citizen changes people. You're still you. Doll looks as Irene remembers. Long golden hair, round eyes, pale skin. Preference for white fashion. Irene bets Doll remains the same on the inside as well. And you look healthy as always, Doll says. There's a good massage parlor I was prepared to refer. Irene stretches her neck. My body's fine. Hunting is great exercise. Lovely. My roll is hard on the back. Irene recalls their cohort citizenship examinations. Right, they made you farmer. You work at the agriculture facility every day? I want to work at the agriculture facility. I like it. Okay, my robe was under my butt and like tilting me forward. Yes, it's tough work, but worth it to get to handle plants and animals. Some of our crops even flower. Irene closes her eyes. Flowers. Doll leans in. Oh, you're still a skeptic? Irene scoffs. I only believe in things I've actually seen. Plants and animals are not allowed outside agriculture facilities. Most citizens live their entire lives without seeing real plants or animals. Aw, no dogs or cats. Ah. I want a hamster. Irene thumbs the edge of artificial flowers at the food court perimeter. They look like that, Irene says. Sort of. Their look depends on the crop, and printed polymer can't replicate the textures of living tissue, but Doll leans further in and smiles. What about the other thing you didn't believe back then? Monsters? Irene's visual confirmation policy applied to monsters as well. Indeed, up until Irene's first encounter with a live monster, she had always wondered if the existence of monsters was a lie made up by the executive department to lock citizens into their birth metros. Now that Irene is an established hunter, however, she, of course... Yeah, I've seen them. Monsters exist, Irene says. Doll grins. How many have you killed? 10? 20? I don't kill them, I capture them. I capture them for the research department's experiments. Doll puts a finger to her cheek. But I thought the point of hunters is to kill monsters in the wasteland, to protect metros and freight. Guards protect metros and freight. Hunters go after targets, coal monster populations. Level threat in wasteland. In the wasteland, sorry. Most hunters do kill, but I'm one of the special ones. Why did I keep wanting to put a not in there? No. You capture them instead? Yeah. Oh god, sorry. Doll rests her head on her palms. Experiments, huh? What have they figured out? Irene shrugs. Who knows? They never tell us anything. All results go straight to the executive department for classification. Really? What about during role training? Anything new about monsters that wasn't taught at the nursery? We learn about types of monsters, their attack patterns, and the best way to neutralize them, but nothing about what they really are, if that's what you're looking for. Doll looks baffled. Irene can't blame her. It has been hundreds of years, and citizens of antiquity... Oh, antiquity is the place. I thought it was a person. Citizens of antiquity still do not know where monsters come from, how they reproduce, or why they attack humans. Are monsters intelligent? Is that red fluid even blood? Are monsters even life? That's a weird way to say that. Why would you not say, like, alive? What's life? That's weird. If the executive department does know something, the information must be extremely dangerous for it to be worthy of suppression. What about animals? Irene says to Doll. What are they really? Oh, what are they really? Doll smiles. Animals really are life forms, just like us. Some are intelligent and can exhibit emotion. It's sad the lovely things are destined to be processed for our consumption. Yeah, emotion, huh? Intelligent behavior, Irene thinks. During role training, did they tell you why the executive department doesn't allow plants and animals outside of agriculture facilities? Irene says. All organic material has to be produced a certain way, down to the... Doll pauses. Basically livestock, like us, require a certain amount of life support to thrive, and that life support needs to be monitored for optimal organic material production. Stray plants and animals out in the metro would mess with the numbers. Yeah, I know about the importance of numbers, Irene thinks to the freighter carrying organic cargo from the day's work shift. Just another ruin in the wasteland now. Oh, they're not gonna go pick that back up? That's weird. So how do they know if a plant or animal has escaped the agriculture facility? Irene says. There are biosensors all over the metro that detect non-human life. Doll points to the drone that served their food. Irene's eyes pop. Seriously? In those things? Yes, drones come with biosensors and send a signal to the safety department upon detecting non-human life. After which, the safety department sends out enforcers to collect the stray crops. Oh, that was a question. Dahl nods. There are biosensors hidden in bushes too. There may even be biosensors hidden in your residence. Irene vows to thoroughly check her residence after a date with Dahl. The date continues, then ends. Dahl, who seems satisfied about something, waves goodbye before heading to her next appointment. A drone buzzes over the two's table to clean up. Irene eyes the drone suspiciously before leaving the food court herself. Irene lives in an average residence. A one-bed suite in the lower middle-class residential district suits her just fine. She brushes her teeth in front of her only window. Past the air pollution stands dilapidated apartments of unknown age, linked by bridges. Parcel drones dart from building to building in flocks resembling things that existed in ancient times. Unusual traffic rises commotion at the district's lower levels near the Metro Foundation. Seems busy today, Irene thinks. Last night, Irene checked her room for biosensors but found nothing out of the ordinary. It did not help that Irene had no idea what individual biosensors looked like. A beep from the room's integrated computer breaks Irene's trance. Computer, you just received one new message from your mission operator. That's rare. Irene waves her hand. The window pane shifts from transparent to opaque and the room's computer interface appears. Ern, good morning. Hope you are well rested. Today is going to be different from usual. There is a situation. Come to this location after gearing at HQ. Irene sees the location. What the hell? Ooh, it looks so cool! Irene arrives at the mission coordinates. A cliff next to an abandoned factory overlooking the Undermetro. Artificial light from the metro above illuminates the Undermetro's first few layers. Gray fog covers the rest. Abandoned vehicles, crashed drones, and trash litter pothole-marked highways. A few holographic billboards and somehow still receive electricity spark and flicker. Ghastly, Ern says through Irene's communicator. Where are you? You're not at the Wasteland Outpost, are you? Irene says. Correct. I am in the metro, at a makeshift outpost near your location. What's with the crowd? Irene thumbs up to the guards, the enforcers rummaging in the factory behind her. They are the blockade. Irene peers over the cliff. Then there's really a monster down there? Yes. What the hell's going on? A monster got past the metro walls? What were the guards doing? These monsters did not break through the metro walls. These monsters escaped from the Metro Research Facility. After breaking out, they fled to the Undermetro. Oh! A monster breakout. Such a thing is unheard of. What were the researchers doing, Irene thinks? Why haven't the citizens been alerted? The executive department does not want word of this to get out. Because it'll make the research department look bad? The public already heavily criticizes the research department. Dissent? Is that a word? Dissent must not get out of hand. The official explanation for the blockade is a chemical spill. Better that than monsters, I suppose. The executive department's information suppression is at work. Irene bets that even if 1 or 2 civilians die during the incident, the executive department will still be able to keep the whole thing a secret. Irene continues. You said these earlier? There's more than one? Yes, 6 monsters of various mass, but hunters from the previous shift managed to take 1 out, so of the 6, 5 remain. Is it gonna be okay? I can't capture 5 monsters in 1 shift. You will not be hunting alone. All hunters that can be spared from the Wasteland have been assigned to this mission. You may even come across some of them. The Wasteland will be pretty empty this shift then, Irene thinks. The hunters from the previous shift will be retiring soon. Continue where they left off. Understood. One last thing. This is not a capture mission. You are to kill the targets upon neutralization. What the hell? This clause comes directly from the research department. Collectors and status containers will not be available for this mission. There's no need to capture the monsters. Kill them. Is that clear? This should be no different from usual. Just deal the finishing blow after neutralization. Understood, Irene says while thinking. Hunting to capture and hunting to kill are completely different. Damn it. Irene cracks her knuckles and activates her suit's enhancers. She leaps off the cliff and runs down the cliff side into the urban shadows of the Undermetro. Irene jumps down a hole and lands on the floor of a familiar parking lot level. You searched this place already. I know that. An abandoned drone on the ground scores Irene's view. She kicks the drone, causing it to beep and spark. Hours have passed since Irene began her hunt. The monsters are nowhere to be found. The Undermetro environment proves to be too different from the wasteland Irene is used to. Ruins can be found in the wasteland. Sometimes Hunter even come across whole abandoned metros. But this urban confinement is a first for Irene. The lost hunter sits on the hood of a rusted freighter, sighs, and stretches her legs. What are you doing? Get back to your search, Ern says.
My foot is gone numb. I gotta adjust.
Okay. Na 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 na. I love the music for this game. It's all so good. So good. It really fits the situations. It's not just like, you know what I mean? Sometimes this music just thrown in. But this is good music. Okay. Alright. My foot is numb. It's doing that tingling thing as the blood rushes back to it. Oh, it's so uncomfortable. This isn't working. This whole place is a maze. They don't have a map of this place? Whoa. That was an accident. But that was cool. Oh, this makes me really want to play Nier Automata. I've been refraining from playing it because I want to record it for my channel. Except, I don't have a way to record it. It's on my PlayStation, unfortunately. No. Maps, if they do exist, would be sealed in the Grand Archives, and thus be inaccessible. Give us something to work with, you executive department bastards, Irene thinks. Light from the metro above reaches even here. Abert. Pillars supporting the low print shadows over the cracked floor. Oh, the lot. Wait, what? Pillars supporting the lot print shadows over the cracked floor. Okay, that makes more sense. It is actually a really cool sentence. Dust particles dance in the air for an eerie atmosphere. People used to frequent this place, Irene says. Of course. Anyone live here right now? No. Enforcer patrols will arrest anyone who does for legislation violation. Only if they're actually found, Irene thinks. Why did we abandon this place anyway? I do not know. That information is classified. Ooh. Irene frowns. When did we abandon it? Classified. Irene leans her head back and examines the freighter she sits on. The stuff we're using today don't look all that different from this. She bangs the hood with a fist. Rust fragments crumble. Indeed, so it must not have been that long. But the buildings up top look old too, Irene calls the view from a residence window. The upper metro's dilapidation is apparent. This is messed up, Irene thinks. Most of the human history is classified, but some basics are taught. For example, the fact that humans originally came from the surface, a place beyond the upper crust. Of course, this is assuming that the executive department is not lying about the existence of the surface. Until Irene sees it herself, she will not believe it. Exactly when the downward migration happened is not taught, but this has to be greater than centuries, as the monster threat is said to have existed for centuries. I hope this isn't a demo because, oh boy, the story is getting thick. I don't know how long this game is, but I'm so excited. I love it. I don't want it to end. Centuries of monster research, and now this happens, I think they meant. Biosensors came from the research department, right? Yes, all of the technology used today comes from the research department. I'm surprised you know about biosensors. Where did you hear about them? Someone from my nursery cohort told me. The research department created biosensors so the safety department can detect, collect, and purge non-human life in other words, crops, outside of the agricultural facilities. The sensors are installed to hidden locations. Drones have them. That's all I know. Do monsters count as non-human life? I do not know. Irene shifts her gaze to the drone she kicked earlier. Ooh, the drone beeps. Irene sits up. What's it doing? Malfunctioning? Maybe it's some kind of signal. Irene approaches the drone, dusts it off, and picks it up. Analyzes the signal. It is a proximity signal. It's not supposed to vocalize this. The auditory feedback is a hardware malfunction, probably from your kick earlier. The signal is about 20 meters away and getting closer. Oh, maybe it's a biosensor signal, detecting a monster. Irene holds the drone under her left arm and readies her main sword. Oh, I love the thump sounds. They're just like, whomp, whomp. Oh, they're the best. It is here, corner to your left, says. Bzz. Irene activates her sword and rushes to intercept, but out jumps a shadow. Whoa, wait, I'm a hunter, the pale-haired figure says with his hands raised. He wears the standard hunting suit. A short sword and a communicator are on his belt. But before Irene can examine him further, the male hunter says, "The monster is here, the floor below." Thick white tentacles blast through the floor. Polymer dust clouds the air as footing collapses. The two hunters fall to the lot below. One tentacle grabs the male hunter's waist as he drops. Help, he says. Irene minimizes her landing damage with a roll. What are you doing? Fight, she says. She drops the drone and presses the primary trigger on her sword. The monster resembles one Irene caught yesterday. Oh, the one. Yeah, blah, blah. Its tentacles are no match for Irene's diagonal slash. The monster, unable to fend off Irene while gripping the other hunter, throws the latter to the ground. Bam! The male hunter hits the ground with an almighty impact crater. Blah! The floor gives way. 3 parties fall to the next floor below. Irene picks herself up and waves her sword through the dust cloud while coughing. She connects with nothing. Did it get away? Says. The male hunter, alive thanks to suit enhancers, groans as the dust cloud settles. A few white tentacles litter the ground, but the monster's main body is nowhere to be seen. A trail of monster blood leads to an exit to a highway. Come on, we need to follow it, Irene says to the unknown hunter. What's your name? He coughs. Lager? I was getting this a little bit before, but Lager and Jaeger sound quite similar, and it's people with swords and they're fighting big old monsters that they don't really know a whole lot about. You draw your own conclusions. Irene, she stops. Meters away rolls the earlier drone, miraculously intact after falling 2 floors. She grabs it and throws it to Lager. Take this, Irene says. What's this? Lager says. It'll tell us where the monster is. Maybe. Now come on. Irene runs in the direction of the blood. Lager follows, stumbling. The trail is easy to follow. It curves around several abandoned vehicles to an opening in the highway's guard rail. Near a pile of rubber tires, the torn metal juts out. Irene peers at the murky below. It must have jumped, Lager says between huffs and puffs. The drone holds. Beeps. Wait, the drone he holds. Oh, the drone he holds beeps. Don't move. Irene holds out a palm. She inches back, away from the opening. Irene checks the signal. Good call. If the signal is correct, it should be right underneath you. Under the highway, Lager says. Realizing its ambush failed, the monster thumps along the underside of the highway. You will not be able to attack the monster while it is in that position, Ern says. Wait for it to move. Operators at the outpost are messaging the other hunters now. They are coming to assist you. No, there's no time to waste. Irene deactivates her sword. Ern, we're allowed to damage the under metro infrastructure, right? Yes and no. The executive department expects collateral damage, but damage with effects that extend to the upper metro is forbidden. The upper metro foundation was built to withstand near complete deterioration of the under metro, so long as she is careful. This should be alright. Irene sheaths her primary sword and triggers her suit's physical enhancers through her biochip. What are you planning? Lager says. You might want to move to more solid ground, Irene says. The monster gains some distance, so Irene initiates her plan without waiting for Lager to fall back. She enters a sprinting pose. The air cracks. Whoosh. Irene blasts off at maximum speed. She uses the rubber tires in the middle of the road as a spring to bounce high into the air. Take this, Irene says. She angles her right elbow towards the monster's predicted location, and boom, Irene crashes into the highway, elbow first. First forming a crater, then demolishing that section of the bridge entirely. The monster grasps empty air and emits a shrill sound. Damn it, grazed. Irene missed the main body by a meter. She and the monster descend in a flurry of tentacles and polymer scraps. The next available ground a few seconds later. A waterway shaped like a half pipe. A small stream of dirty water from the Metro Hydro delivery system flows down the center of the waterway. The batteries powering the enhancers in Irene's suit expends the last of their power. Irene's enhancer do power so the batteries can recharge. No matter, Irene unsheathes her primary sword. The monster rights itself, faces her, and coils its remaining tentacles in response. Ha. Ha! Pipes hanging outside the waterway reflect light from Irene's sword. Tentacles fall to the ground. Monster blood dyes the water red. Enhancers are unnecessary. The undermetro environment has allied itself with Irene for once. The waterway's walls traps the monster on both sides while Irene seals off the monster's front. The monster can only move back until finally it can move back no more. The monster collapses, limbless, against the metal grate at the end of the waterway. It croaks. Irene pants. She points her sword at the monster for a second before sheathing it. That's one. Lager jumps from pipe to pipe and lands on the waterway with the drone. Oh man, that was great, Irene, he says. How'd you get here so fast? Irene thinks. Whatever. The drone beeps with Lager's approach. Irene looks at it. The proximity symbol, it's pointing to the monster, right? Indeed, that appears to be the case. Is it a biosensor signal? Perhaps. Currently, hunters use practical techniques to track monsters. Monster-detecting biosensors to augment those techniques would be incredibly handy. Mission success rate would increase. Lives may be saved. Hell, why not use the sensors on this very mission? The executive department would rather risk mission success than supply hunters with this device. Everything the executive department does is for a reason. There must be a good reason why hunters are not allowed to access this sensor. Irene frowns. Maybe there's something bad with letting biosensors out into the wasteland? Slush. Irene turns to see Lager presses activated sword into the crippled monster's main body. What the hell? Irene says. What? Our mission is to kill these things, remember? Lager says. He shoves the sword in deeper. He's right, Irene. This is a kill mission, not a capture mission, Irene says. Not that capturing it after you've cut all of its limbs off would be very good for it anyways. Just saying. Like, I don't know why she's so upset. I feel like it might be a mercy to kill it at this point. Oh, you're a capture specialist? I guess you're not used to dealing finishing blows, Lager says. The monster curls up. Its skin shrinks and dries. The monster's life, if it had one, disappears. Irene turns to the side and curses. Whatever. Lager continues to beat the corpse with his sword, wasting energy and durability. You're really into this, Irene says. Well, it's not often I get a chance to kill these things. I hunt in a group. You're a grouper? Irene hunts solo, but has worked with others a few times in the past. Where's your team now? Our leader told us to split up. Lager says he continues to beat the monster while puffing. I just started a few months ago. I need experience to catch up with the others. Damn rookies, Irene thinks. I wish the civil department made me a guard instead. I don't think I'm cut out for this. Crash! A giant piece of rubble squishes Lager, cutting him off. Squishes him? What? Like, he dead now? Squishes him? Irene sensed it coming a moment before it hit, but it happened too quick. What the? Irene jumps back and turns the direction of the attack. 3 more pieces of rubble flies towards her. Oh my god, he's dead. Whoa. Okay, there was a mild violence warning. I did not expect squishing of humans. No, that's not what I expected. Smash! Irene deflects the rubble with her sword. The monster that threw them stands at the corner of a roof in the distance. Unlike the other monster, this one's body has a distinct pyramid shape. The monster detaches another pillow from the ruin it stands on and prepares to throw the polymer block. Why didn't the drone sense it? Irene says. Perhaps the monster was too far away for the sensor to trigger. Irene swears and looks for a way to get to the monster. She eyes a pipe and prepares to jump to it. Stop! What are you doing? Irene says. You have to protect Lager. Oh, he's not dead. Okay. Irene turns around. Comes Lager's blaze from underneath the rubble. One hand peeks out. The rookie barely survived. Wow, he not dead. Okay. Okay, I guess. Just, oh my god, squishes Lager. What? Not what I expected. The monster throws one of the pillars. Damn it! Irene runs back to shield Lager from the attack. Smash! Irene's sword collides with the pillar. She barely pushes out of the way in time. Smash! Smash! The attacks continue and increase in ferocity. Irene loses her grip and her primary sword flies out of her hand. She hurriedly reaches for a secondary sword, but... I burped. Why am I so burpy today? Smash! Her second sword falls to the ground. All she can do now is activate her half-charged enhancers and hope. She guards with her forearms and braces for the attack that does not come. Past her guard, she sees the monster ready to throw, but instead of throwing, it slowly lowers its arms. The monster then flings the pillar over its back and slithers away from the corner of the roof. Monster behavior Irene has never seen before, but also Irene grits her teeth. Teeth. Lager issues another groan. Irene, the other hunters will take care of the monster. Focus on getting Lager back to safety, Irene says. Irene lowers her guard and turns to help Lager out of the rubble. Thus, the work shift ends. No more monsters were caught that shift. The next batch of hunters arrived to continue where the current shift left off. Lager survives, but must undergo treatment at the medical facility. 4 monsters remain. I wonder if this visual novel will be around for all 4 monsters, and that'll be the end of it. Like, 4 monsters seems like a good cap. Violent shadows swarm Irene's dream. This could be a multi-work series. Just this is the first one that's come out so far. That would be cool. Oh, that would be so cool. Oh, excite. Violent shadows swarm Irene's dreams. Irene wakes up, curled in her bed. Irene throws off her sheets and activates her room's window with a gesture. The window defogs and the metro cityscape is revealed. The blockade at the metro's lower levels remain. Irene rests her palm against the window and breathes out. She replaces images from her childhood with pictures of the monster in her brain. She will not babysit rookies this time. Irene stands before the under metro in front of the Foundation at the same spot she was yesterday. While the under metro appears the same, sharper eyes will notice signs of 2 workships worth of battle. Missing highway segments, slash marks, cracked walls. How many are left? Irene says. 1. Oh. Irene the previous 2 shifts took down 3? Yes, all 3 were taken down by Rion, our metro's top hunter. But this last one is hard to find. We would believe it to be resting somewhere. Over 24 hours have elapsed since the monster's escape. This last one has not been sighted during the previous shift at all. It is the one that squished Lager yesterday. Ah. I wonder if we ever get to meet this Rion person. That'd be cool, right? The top hunter. Irene closes her eyes and slowly opens them. Did the executive department. They said the monster's proximity signal from the drone yesterday was a hardware malfunction. We are to forget the whole thing ever happened. Do you really believe that? Unless you want the judiciary department coming after you, I suggest you do as they say. Also about Lager. Don't care. Irene powers her enhancers. We will need a new right arm printed. He will need a new right arm printed, but we'll be fine after about a week of treatment. Printed? You can just print arms in this future? Whoa. Blocking our irrelevant information, Irene descends into the Undermetro. Hours pass. The monster is nowhere to be found. Irene kicks a billboard in frustration. The billboard sparks and the static hologram it displayed shuts off for good. Ern, you sure the monster is still here? The blockade at the foundation is intact. It must be here. Irene grits her teeth. In a few hours, her shift will end, along with her chances to defeat the monster. Rion will definitely kill it in his next shift. Aerial drones from the metro above draw beams of shadows to the Undermetro fog. If only a drone could come down and help with the search, with their monster sensors, Irene thinks. Ern, could the monster have reached the upper metro? I just said the blockade is intact. Is there any way the monster could have gone past the blockade undetected? No, the only way the metro above is through the abandoned factory at the foundation between the metro and the Undermetro. Is that the truth or what the executive department told you? Electronics down here clearly receive power. Irene gestures to the billboards as she kicked. And then there's the waterway. What if are hidden tunnels to the metro above that bypass the foundation? Say the monster did manage to sneak into the upper metro undetected. No civilians have seen or been attacked by the monster yet. Who knows how monsters behave in these situations? This isn't the wasteland. You said it yourself. The monster could be resting somewhere. Then let us assume for a moment that the situation with the drone from yesterday was not a coincidence, and that biosensors can, in fact, detect monsters. Biosensors would have detected the monster, and the safety department would relay to us the monster's location. Of course, the executive department would filter that information. The fact that the biosensors were involved would be erased, Irene thinks. To summarize, the monster must still be in the Undermetro because 1. The monster has not gone past the blockade. 2. No civilians have seen or been attacked by the monster yet. 3. If biosensors can detect monsters, none have detected the monster yet. I don't know why we need that summary. I understood all that. Irene frowns. No, there's one place that doesn't have any biosensors. Oh shit! Is it the agriculture facility? The agriculture facility. Oh shit. Irene says. Indeed, there is no need to install biosensors at the facility because non-human life is allowed to exist there. Irene turns on her enhancers and enters a sprinting pose. You plan on searching the facility? Irene says. I'm done wasting my time here. The agriculture facility is the only place left that makes sense. You won't stop me, will you? No, but the executive department will need confirmation of the monster's presence via interior reports before they will open the facility doors to you. Stand by at the facility's perimeter. Understood. And turn on your stealth enhancers. We cannot have the civilians panicking from seeing a hunter blasting through the metro. Ooh, sight! Irene takes a shortcut through the plazas to the industrial district, the place the metro agriculture facility is located. She jumps from plaza to plaza under an optical cloak. The physical enhancers in Irene's suit are unavailable to the stealth enhancers, draining all battery power, but Irene's natural physical ability is enough to support her free running. She flips over a bridge and leaps for the next, blowing gusts of wind, something that no longer naturally exists, over citizens in their leisure shift. Across the bridge and past the intermediate high-rise is the industrial district. Smoke rises from chimneys atop factory structures. In one corner is the entrance to the Metro Agricultural Facility. Irene rolls to a stop before the entrance. The batteries in Irene's suit enter stasis to recharge, and she is forcibly decloaked. Alright, Irene, what's the situation inside the facility? No monster reports yet. Stand by. It would really suck if this was just a waste of time, Irene thinks. Irene begins pacing in front of the facility's sliding entrance doors when, swish, the front doors slide open to reveal the facility's reception area. Irene, what the hell? The doors just opened. I do not know. There has not been any reports of monsters inside the facility yet. The doors are not supposed to open to people who are not facility personnel. Irene looks around. She is alone, but... Is it the executive department? Are they watching me? Irene thinks. Well, the doors are open, so I'm going in, Irene says. She enters the facility. The door is closed behind her. Oh, shit. Irene's motion triggers automatic lights installed to the floor. The facility's empty reception connects to a main hall at the end of which is an 8-way intersection. Glass cases built into the intersection's walls light up. Irene approaches a case. Inside rests a curled up fleshy thing. What the hell is this? Irene says. Preserved snake embryo, an unknown voice says. Irene spins around. A tall man in a white sanitation suit stands before her. The darkness under the suit's hood hides the man's face. Somehow his presence did not trigger Irene's hunter instincts. Who are you? Did you let me in? Irene says. The man walks to the case Irene looked at and presses against it his gloved right hand. He stares at the embryo while Irene takes a step back. He who sees things grow from the beginning will have the finest view of them, the man says. Did you hear a single word I said? Irene says. You getting this? Irene glances at her communicator. The status light is off, indicating that her communicator is offline, before Irene can inspect it. Bang! The sound of an explosion echoes throughout the hall. The facility shakes. Lights flicker. What the hell? Irene says. The man straightens. You better hurry. The monster has reached the orchard. Irene picks herself off the ground. The monster's here? Correct. The man turns to one of the intersection's exits. At the end of this passage. And who? A second explosion rocks the hall. Damn it, this way, you say? Irene enters the hall the man indicated. You won't get away this time, monster, Irene thinks. She runs down the hall, leaving the man behind. The man says to the disappearing Irene, Enjoy your hunt. The hall ends in a locker room lined on both sides by empty sanitation suits. At the end of the room is a decontamination tunnel. The tunnel spray a fine decontaminating mist over Irene. The door to the orchard opens. Ooh, plants. Aisles of green fill Irene's view. Plants, real ones. The ankle-high water floods the floor from the room. Above, what the hell? Irene says. Drones skit the air, holding trays of greenery. These drones must not come with biosensors, Irene thinks. Irene continues to scan the room. Then she sees it. In one corner hunches the pyramid-shaped monster. Next to the monster is a hole in the wall, out of which surges water. Perhaps this is how the monster entered the room. The monster's tentacles wave in the air. Each tentacle is pointed to a figure wearing the sanitation suit, the facility's farmers. One farmer in front of the monster, as if fascinated, stretches their hand towards the monster's head. The monster's tentacles coil. Boom. Irene's elbow punch blasts the monster into trays of crops. Water splashes high enough to reach the ceiling. Irene gasps, drenched. The aquatic environment is another one she is unaccustomed to. She turns to the farmer and she saved, who fell to the floor. You okay? Irene says. The farmer says, Irene, and takes off the hood of their sanitation suit. Irene stares. Familiar golden hair from days at the nursery have been tied into a ponytail to fit the suit. Doll! Splash! The monster picks itself up with its many tentacles. Irene turns to it and holds out a hand to protect Doll. Doll, get back, Irene says. Doll nods and moves to hide behind a nearby aisle of crops, as do the other farmers in the room. Irene draws her primary sword and strafes the monster. Why didn't the monster immediately kill the humans, she thinks. Irene's communicator suddenly lights up. Ern, you're back. The safety department has confirmed reports of the monster's presence within the facility. Yeah, I'm right in front of it. Backup will arrive in 5 minutes. Hold. Iron breaks her strafe and rushes towards the monster. She presses her sword's primary trigger. Clink. Multiple tentacles block Irene's attack. The impact blasts water into the air. Irene's activated sword should have sliced its flesh easily. Is it the water? Damn it, Irene thinks. Droplets run down Irene's sword as tentacles coil around it. Irene and the monster tug at the sword. Both refuse to let go. None of Irene's training applies to this environment. Irene tisks. She gives up on her primary sword and pulls out her secondary. Slash. Oof. What? The stunned Irene sees her sword clash with her own. The monster took Irene's primary sword and now wields it against her. A tentacle coil around the other sword's hilt. The monster takes advantage of Irene's surprise and knocks out Irene's legs with a pair of tentacles from behind. Irene falls into the water. Irene says, the water... Why would you say that Irene says that? It's just kind of like a sound she made from falling. Surprised falling. The monster crawls over Irene while maintaining their clash of swords. The monster presses down on the sword with its full weight. Irene guards with both hands of her sword, one hand on the hilt and one hand on the flat of the blade. This can't be happening, she thinks. Irene, Doll says from a distance away, unsure of how to help. Irene holds his breath on the other side of the communicator. The monster coils a free tentacle into a spear and aims it at Irene's vitals. Irene clenches her teeth. 1 second. 2 seconds. 3 seconds. The fatal attack does not come. The tentacle spear unwinds. From the monster's gut comes unearthly croaks. What? Monster behavior lacks documentation, thanks to the Executive Department's information classification policy, but the meaning behind the monster's voice is clear. Laughter. What? Like ones from long ago. Beep, the batteries in Irene's suit finish charging. Irene overloads her physical enhancers and breaks the clash. Irene's primary sword, the one the monster was borrowing, spins in the air. The monster's attempt to reobtain the sword is cut down by Irene's physically enhanced slashes. Before the torn tentacles could even hit the ground, Irene slams the monster into the floor with a lariat. Tentacles flying widely in all directions, splashing water to the walls and nearby crops. Irene smashes her sword into the monster's main body repeatedly. How dare you do that to me? No one does that to me. Ever, ever, ever. That's so weird. She's a bit crazy. She's a little crazy. Irene's sword reaches its durability limit and breaks. Blade shards spin into the corners of the room. Irene grabs her first sword from the ground and continues her rampage. She's really handing it to this monster. It takes a minute of violence for Irene's attack to finally slow. Ha! 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 Why is he laughing? The monster, crumpled on the ground, laughs again. Its vibrating screech echoes through the room. Thump. Irene is hugged from behind by Doll. Irene takes several deep breaths. See, Doll, monsters do exist. She gestures to the bloody flesh on the floor. Doll ignores the monster. She points to the thing growing in a bush at a nearby aisle. Look, Irene, real flowers. They do exist. In the direction of Doll's index finger, real flowers of a certain color bloom. Irene stares at the flora. Yeah, I see it. The decontamination room door opens and raring hunters, the aforementioned backup, rushes in. Okay. Give me more! A few days later, Irene waits for Doll at the same bridge she waited at last time. After the incident at the agriculture facility, it felt right for the two of them to meet up at least one more time. As Irene stares absent-mindedly at a video advertisement playing on the face of a distant high-rise, a man walks up to her side. You again, Irene says. You enjoyed your hunt, as we enjoy your service, the man says. Irene turns to him. The man's sanitation suit makes him stand out in the leisure district. Strangely, none of the nearby pedestrians seem to notice him. You're from the executive department, aren't you? Irene says. Correct. Why are you here? Due to your special assistance in the recent matter, we grant you one query to the Grand Archive of Antiquity. What? One query? That's so not cool! Special assistance? Did I do something special the other hunters didn't? Shouldn't Rion get this honor? Irene thinks. One question, huh? Irene considers. Why aren't biosensors issued to citizens operating in the wasteland? What experiment did the research department perform on these monsters? Why did we abandon the Undermetro? Does this surface really exist? The question Irene picks is, why didn't that monster kill? Irene says. You should recognize it. That dragon practiced mercy on you. Wait, that dragon practiced mercy, like you, the man says. My vice, Irene says through gritted teeth. And vice versa, says Aristotle. Van turns after uttering the ancient name. Carry on. Kyrene? Siren? Siren? Is that right? Kyrene? Siren. Siren? Siren. Huh. Siren. I like Kyrene better. Kyrene for antiquity. The van walks away. He passes Doll, who runs over to Irene from the distance, waving. Oh no! That's the end! Oh, I don't want it. Thank you for playing Dynaeleos. If you're enjoying this visual novel, please consider porting it on itch.io. New codex entries have been unlocked. What? Codex entries. Codex. Complete the story to unlock optional codex entries that reveal more information about the world. Huh. His age is 0? Oh, citizenship age. Rookie fighter operator. Craven. Fade. Citizenship age 5. Citizenship age 2. Age 10. Oh, he's older. Probably. Doll. Lager. Argos? The mysterious man Irene encountered in the agricultural facility. An agent from the executive department. When certain citizens get close to seeing past antiquities deception, the executive department acts to repair the issue. The target citizen this time was not Irene. Huh. The most skilled hunter's true potential has not yet been manifested. I really want more of this. I hope there's like a 2 and we get to meet Rion and other stuff and we get to learn more and maybe, I don't know. This has a lot of potential to like continue. It did end at a decent place, but it seems more like a chapter than a like a full story, like a chapter of the story than the full story. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to know the full story. Hey. Anyway, thank you everybody for coming out and playing with me. I really love this game. If you couldn't tell. Anyway, I said anyway. I say anyway too much. Well then. I wanted to say anyway again, but I don't know what to say besides anyway. That just means the same thing as anyway. Awkward. Anyway. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for coming out and playing with me. Bye!